All right, let's just dive right in. Today, we're going to completely change the way you think about building wealth. I mean it. Forget all the noise about chasing crazy investment returns or needing some huge six-figure salary. We're going to focus on the one single most powerful factor in your financial life that you have 100% control over.
And to get there, we actually have to start with a kind of strange question. What on earth can a global crisis from the 1970s possibly teach you about your money today? And the answer? Well, it turns out it's pretty much everything.
You see, the whole key is wrapped up in something called the efficiency paradox. It's this wild story about how facing a massive, terrifying shortage actually created an unbelievable amount of abundance.
So, picture this. It's the 1970s, and there is just this widespread global panic. The entire world is convinced that we are running out of oil. You had experts predicting total economic collapse, a future where we just never have enough. It really felt like a problem with no solution.
But then, a really funny thing happened. We didn't really solve the crisis by just going out and finding tons more oil. Nope, the real solution was efficiency. We started building cars, factories, and homes that just did more with less. And get this, today, the US economy uses 60% less energy to produce $1 of GDP than it did back then. We grew our energy wealth not by finding more fuel, but by needing less of it.
And right there, that's the connection. Because trying to find more oil is a lot like trying to land a much higher paying job, or finding that one in a million investment. It's often unpredictable, and it's mostly out of our control. But becoming more efficient with what you already have, that is completely 100% in your hands. And that exact same logic applies to your money.
So, how does this actually become your own personal wealth engine? Well, this is the part where we get really clear about what we can control and what we just can't.
I mean, think about it. We obsess over getting a high income. We obsess over getting big investment returns. And look, yeah, those things can make you wealthy, but they are surrounded by uncertainty. The market goes up, the market goes down, you get a promotion, then you face a layoff. It's a total roller coaster. But a high savings rate, see, that's your personal financial efficiency. It's certain, it's predictable. It's the one dial that you and only you have complete and total control over.
So here's the most important point of all. Building wealth has surprisingly little to do with your income or even your investment returns. And it has everything to do with your savings rate. This quote just says it all. You can absolutely build wealth on a modest income, but you have zero, and I mean zero, chance of building wealth no matter how much you make if you don't have a high savings rate.
Okay, so if it's that simple, right, why doesn't everybody just do it? Well, the biggest roadblock isn't the math, it's our own psychology. It's all about this really dangerous gap between our ego and our income.
Let's be honest. Once your basic needs are covered, food, shelter, the basics, most of our spending isn't about getting more happiness or making our lives better. It's about social signaling. It's a wealth display. We use money to show other people that we have money. And it's a game where the only real way to win is to refuse to play.
So this brings us to a new definition, one that I think we should all just adopt right now. Savings isn't about deprivation. It's simply the gap between your ego and your income. So increasing your savings, it's not really about getting a raise, it's about raising your humility and realizing that you have absolutely nothing to prove to anyone with the stuff you buy.
Now this leads to another huge misunderstanding about money. People always think they need some super specific goal to be able to save. But what if the most powerful reason to save is for, well, nothing in particular?
You've heard this a million times, right? So what are you saving for? Is it the down payment on a house? That new car? The big dream vacation? We've been trained to believe that every single dollar we save has to have a specific job title.
But that's not its true power. Not even close. The most important reason to save money is because we live in a completely unpredictable world. Life will surprise you, and it will probably do it at the worst possible time. Saving is your defense. It's your hedge against a world that honestly doesn't care about your plans.
I want you to think about it this way. Every single dollar you save is a little piece of your own future. A future that might have been owned by a boss you hate, or a bill you can't pay, or some unexpected bad luck, and you are buying it back for yourself. You are literally purchasing your own freedom.
And all of that brings us to the final, and maybe the most valuable, payoff you get from a high savings rate. It's an invisible kind of return, one you will never, ever see on a bank statement. It's what I call the currency of flexibility.
Let's just be real. The world is more competitive than it has ever been. In the past, maybe being the smartest person in the room was enough to give you a real, sustainable advantage. But now you're competing with millions of other smart people from all over the globe for the exact same opportunities. Being smart, by itself, just isn't enough anymore.
So the new sustainable edge, the new superpower in this world is flexibility. It's the ability to adapt, to pivot, to wait for the right opportunity instead of being forced to take the first one that comes along.
And what is that flexibility? The flexibility you bought with your savings? What does it actually get you? Well, it gives you the power to walk away from a terrible boss and wait for a job you actually love. It gives you the time to go back to school or learn a new skill that could literally double your income. It gives you the capital to jump on an investment or a business opportunity when everybody else is panicking. But most importantly, it gives you control over your own time, which is, without a doubt, the most valuable currency in the world today.
So, when you look at your savings account, don't just see the interest rate. Even money in an account that earns 0% interest can generate an absolutely extraordinary return if it gives you the flexibility and control to live life on your own terms. And that's a return you can't put a number on. So the real question isn't how much your money is earning. It's what is it allowing you to become? What part of your future are you going to buy back first?